Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be talking about how revising is going, and I'm still debating story ideas, so let's get into it. If you're new here, my name is Jada. I've written 3 books. One will never see the light of day. The second is in revision purgatory, and the third is my current work in progress, Church Bread. If you want to learn more about that, head to my Instagram, check out my highlights. It's lengthy, so just a heads up. Revisions has been going well. Church Bread, I've made a decent amount of progress. It keeps looking like I'm not doing much, but I'm at chapter 9. So I did a little over a chapter last night. I've been sharing a lot about my story on Instagram, so check my highlights if you want to know more about it, because I'm not gonna sit here and talk about it. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about the background stuff that you could just catch yourself up on Instagram, where I can just sit here and talk to you about current things, like how I feel I'm like, I love the story, but these edits for your girly pops, that's a lot to incorporate, and some of it is like small stuff. I just found a page without any notes, which is rare. There's things that need to be checked for consistency. I'm still not at the writing part where I want to make the words all pretty. That is going to be like absolutely the last thing, like probably the second to last thing that I have to do. Right now I'm focusing on the plot and like character motivations and stuff like that, because I think the last pass through I wanted to make sure everything flowed nicely, and I wanted to add in the chapters and scenes that I wanted to add in. I did all of that, and there's still maybe like 2 or 3 scenes that I want to add in. I'm not sure. I feel like those aren't, I don't know. I have no clue. I'm gonna find out after I finish this, and I still have online edits that I have to you're probably really like, what do you mean? Okay, I printed this, right? And I printed this after I looked through my draft and made suggestions on my online draft. So I would go through it and be like, oh, this doesn't make sense, or was she actually wearing this? I thought she was wearing something else, or something like that. Things that are like minor to big, and I don't fix them right then. And if I'm like, oh, this sounds confusing, or this doesn't make sense because of this happened, like stuff like that, that's in the online draft. Now that stuff is also in here, but they're different. That's a different read through. This is what I hope I'm not sounding like ridiculous right now, but I wanted to make sure that these edits are things I want to incorporate. So I did 2 separate passes. So the online one has separate suggestions, and this one has separate suggestions. Like, I'm not looking back and forth between the 2 edits and incorporating them yet. So I really hope this makes sense. I am doing the edits in here, and then after I'm done with the physical edits, I will see if there's any overlap. And the overlap definitely gets changed. Like, if I opened up chapter 11 and I said I hated the beginning, and then I go to chapter 11 on the online doc and I said I hate the beginning is changed because I clearly hated it both times. So, but if I go on one, it's like one says it but the other one doesn't, that's a maybe, that's a suggestion. So, am I making things harder for myself? I don't know. I have no clue. I've never done this before to this extent. After I finish Planet B, my first book that I ever wrote, I think I went straight to line edits like a noob, like an idiot. And that's probably why that book will never see the light of day. No typos. Like, I can guarantee there's no typos in there, but but it's just like the plot and the pacing. The plot, I love the plot. The pacing is off. The pacing is completely off in that book. It happens too fast and too slow at the same time, which is like, how did you manage that? Girly pop, I don't know. My next, I've been thinking, so besides revisions, I've been thinking so heavy about my next story. I'm still really unsure. I'm still very unsure about my next story. Part of me really wants to work on the space romance, but I don't read a lot of space romance. And part of me is like, how hard can it be? You know what I mean? What I know right now should be enough to get me started. And part of me is like, you need to do my research. That part of my brain never shuts up. She never shuts up. She always wants to do my research. Always wants my research done. So, I haven't decided on that yet. I think I just really just want to get back to like just a plain romance. Like, Chargebread is not, I don't want to say it's draining me, but it's such heavy topics. I'm just like, can I please just write a nice little romance? Why does it have to be so heavy? But my story, I just want to write a sweet little romance, you know? I love romance, so. I really hope you can hear me. I don't feel like talking really loudly. But with the band, what that's in revision purgatory, that's a romance. And I said I was going to rewrite it because I changed a major plot point. And I feel like I could keep some things, but I don't know, I kind of changed the whole thing. It used to be like second chance romance, but now it's going to be not second chance romance. Like they've never physically met in person, and they don't know each other. One knows of the other, but they don't know each other personally. So that's where I am with that one. It needs a rewrite. I might just do the second one, the second book, because it kind of piggybacks off of the first one, but it's not the same characters. There's characters in it, but it's like they were side characters. So I'm gonna do their story first because it's just so cute. It's like a bodyguard YouTuber romance, and it's not her bodyguard. She doesn't need a bodyguard, but yeah, it's so cute. So yeah, that's the other book I want to work on. The cult book has not crossed my mind because I cannot for the life of me think of the person I want to focus on. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I can focus on the person who is doing the thing, or I can focus on the person who wants to be a part of the thing. And now I still don't know. I started writing. I think I wrote 4 chapters, the first 4 chapters of it, and I was just like I like where it's going, but it's not enough. It's not enough conflict. It's not enough. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's enough. Maybe I'm just not really connected to the story, but like, it's one of my favorite topics. Environmentalism. Like, come on. Climate change. Cults. Why can't I write about it? But yeah, I wrote 4 chapters. It's essentially about a very extreme, I don't want to say extreme, but it's about a very devoted climate change activist and how they're obsessed with helping the planet to the detriment of their relationships around them. You know, like, you know the people who are always like, you should be using a reusable water bottle, aka I'm that person, but I'm not like really annoying about it anymore. So, but this character, they're very annoying about it, and they're so annoying about it. It's not even funny, and they don't have any friends because of it. They don't really have good relationships with their parents because of it, but also their parents are climate change deniers. So and like, so but essentially this character gets sucked into this world of a very, very prominent climate change activist who has essentially their own community, and they essentially they get sucked into that world, and they realize that everything's not what it seems, you know? And I think they realized it a little too late. So that sucks. There will be no happy ending for this son. So that's why I'm just like, I don't know if I can write another happy book like that. So soon after Churchbred. Right. But like I haven't decided on the tone, and like these are all things that I think I low-key have already decided on, but now I'm on the fence about them. If you watch my previous videos, you'll see how I prep to write a novel in 2 weeks and stuff like that. And you'll know that I have documents on documents on documents that literally, it's like my own blueprint to writing a novel. So stuff, the worksheets from like Dark Grove Press, the outline, the story structure stuff, like character stuff, like all of that's in one document, ready to go for whenever I want to start a new novel. And I'm pretty sure I already did that for this book. And then I just stopped writing it. I just stopped writing it. I was just like, I'm not invested in this story right now. And it sucks because I want to write the story so bad, but I'm like, that's the thing, like, do I push through? Like, I follow Danielle Vega on TikTok and Instagram, and I think during one of the street team sessions, she was talking about how she's a full-time mother, like she doesn't have time for writer's block. There can't be writer's block when you're a full-time author. And I found that so funny because I'm just like, do I want to push through this story even though I'm not connecting with it, or do I want to table it and pursue something else? And there's no deadlines for me, you know what I mean? There's no publisher breathing down my neck talking about, this is the story you promised us, so this is the one you have to, you know what I mean? Right now I can do whatever I want, and I could have books written and ready to go for when that time does come around, that I'm like agented and with a publishing house. Because I saw that somewhere, someone, I think might have been a famous author, or maybe it wasn't a famous author, but some author that I follow on social media had several books written and ready to go for when they signed with their publisher. And I was like, that is the ideal, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to play, I'd rather not have to play catch up, you know? I'd rather be like, oh, well, I already have this entire series written, you know what I mean? It's been written for a while. Like, I would love that, especially with my romance series, the Love in the City series with Ban, Fashionably Yours, and the third untitled one. All of them have to be retitled. All of them need titles, because With the Ban is already a book. Fashionably Yours is lame. But yeah, I would love to have that done. I would love to have For the New World written. I would love to have the space romance written. It's Churchbred, which is already written, With Ban, Fashionably Yours, untitled third book, For the New World, space romance. This isn't even mentioning the books, the book ideas that I have shelved that might make an appearance, you know what I mean? Because they kind of like to trickle in sometimes. And although I am unhinged, I don't think I could write like 3 or 4 books this year. Not while revising Churchbred. It would be fun to try. It would be so fun to try. Am I going to try? Maybe. I might. It's only February. And I wrote a book in 2 weeks. So like, could I logically, from a logical standpoint, could I write a book? Could I write several more books in, what, 2-3 months? Yeah. Am I going to? No, I don't think so. I think I need a nap. I think I'm gonna sit in bed, read through Churchbred, and try to take it easy today because my head, oh, I feel like every week there's something else. It's me and my head, bro. Me and my head. Ugh. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning into my vlog. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you next time.